Hello everybody, Russian Batman back with another video. Yeah, I'm gonna stop apologizing for the inconsistent video schedule because I do it every video and it's become probably really annoying for some people. So get wrecked, my schedule's inconsistent. Anyways, today's showcase is inspired by Invincible, more specifically the Invincible War. I've seen a lot of people online have been making like Invincible War OCs. I'm like, you know what? Let's try to do that. So that's what I did for me and a few of my friends. And first, let me show off mine. So this is my Invincible War OC I made. I'm pretty happy with how this guy turned out. So my main sig fig, but I'm probably showing an image on screen, but it's basically just a Batman with a golden mask and red pants. So I emulated that here with the color scheme. So it's gold in the middle, and then red on the shoulders, and then on the boots, and then black for the rest of the base. Because Invincible already has a black base, so that made the color scheme pretty easy to translate, and already had a yellowish sort of head, so it wasn't that hard to do. I gave it this faded effect because my Batman mask, it does have this kind of faded gold and black design, but I kind of put everything on the design, so like even the boots are faded as well. I thought it'd be a cool unity to it. I thought it could look like he was covered in ash or something. I don't know if that effect really came together, but it kind of makes it look like more worn down or, like chipping off or something. So I thought that would kind of lend well to the evil design, because a lot of these, like I said, these aren't just our characters as Invincible. It's Invincible War, so they're supposed to be kind of evil to a degree. So that's what I did here. And then obviously no hair because, mine's like a full mask. And mine's the only one out of these three that has the mouth exposed. And I actually really do like that expression. I do think it's a mean looking expression. At first it didn't look that great, but I refined it a little bit and I do really like it. I gave him the fingerless gloves. And then the, like I said, red boots as stated before. I did paint the back. I don't usually paint the back of my figures, but you know what? I decided to just give it a little rough design on the back. Okay. Next up, who should I? You know what? Let me show off Potato Mean. Here I'll probably just show an image of his sig fig somewhere, on screen. But here is the Invincible War variant I came up with. Now, originally this little kind of breather thing, I didn't have that there. I just had it blank. But when I brought up the design to Tato, he thought it really should emulate the little, the cross he has on his head. And I originally didn't want to do that. I just had the gold eyes, but eventually I caved in. I thought, okay, he could have like a breather apparatus, which, like I said, is kind of contrary to Invincible. I think this design looks the least like an Invincible variant out of the bunch. I still really do like how it looks. But yeah, I still, like I said, all these, you got to try to keep the eye in there, where it's like this circle bit and then the little bit going down. I do kind of break that rule a little bit with the next figure. But I did add the kind of the symbol on the back for the Viltrum symbol. Now I did realize that I actually made this wrong. This stick is supposed to be on the top and this one's supposed to be on the bottom. But just like flip your phone around. There you go. It's good. I was too lazy to redo it, but I do like how the cape turned out, and I thought this would be a fitting one to have a cape because his medieval design does have a cape, and like that fits. I had gold throughout to, like I said, emulate the gold he has on his mask. I didn't give him any like shoulders or like actual armor because, I don't think armor really fits for Invincible because like he's invincible. He doesn't really need armor. So I just kind of try to keep his design. Like I said, this design, I do like it, but it kind of looks the least like Invincible, but also looks the least like the Tato Mean as well. So it's kind of a little bit of worst of both worlds, but you know what? I'm still happy with it. I think he fits in well with the three and looks nice, gnarly, and evil. So there you go. Last but certainly not least, this one actually might be my favorite, and not because I had a big say in it, but because so here's Frail Whale. Here's a picture of his sig fig or something. But this is the Invincible design. And in fact, the reason I like this one the most is because I was bringing up the idea to Frail Whale, and he actually made his own concept when I mentioned this, and he sent it to me, and I really liked it. So I originally had this design with like blue gloves and whatnot, but I scrapped it because it didn't look good, and I used his design. So big shout out to him for actually, like participating on like Tato Mean. He didn't do crap. He's a loser. So he kind of designed this. Now, I did tweak his design a little bit. First thing I tweaked is the yellow here. Originally, he had this whole upper U section black. I changed the U section to be yellow because it's supposed to match his mask. I know I kind of break this rule with this guy because like his mask is like part of that little U on his chest. So I made that U yellow. I also extended his gloves. I made his gloves bigger. In his design, his gloves were kind of, went to here. So they more looked like he had yellow hands. And I wanted to make it, look like that, he actually, he's not just a yellow guy. I know Frail is a yellow guy, but I didn't want to make that. And I didn't have his mouth exposed. He did the same in his design to emulate how he usually draws his character without his mouth. So I, left it covered. I did give him these headphones. Sort of headphones. They're more just like ear muffs that are like connected to the mask. He had them as full headsets going over, but I thought that would look a little bit too urban, if that makes sense, and too casual. I didn't want to make this, because if you make him look casual, it makes him look like a good guy and not a bad guy. And I want to make it look like it's a militaristic sort of bad guy. And I did give him this emblem, this F emblem, which is kind of supposed to represent the, Viltrum logo, but like, different. So, and he loves to implement the F wherever he can. These silver lines, he did in white, I did in silver, just because it's easier to paint in silver paint, and I do think it looks really cool in the silver. And then red boots, and but other than that, the design for the shoulders is the same. And then, like I said, I did include that black he had up here, where I outlined this little section in black as well. I do think that looks really good. It is a bit different than the other Invincible designs, where like you have that little piece in the bottom there. He didn't include that, and I figured, this looks more recognizable as Invincible. I do also like how the eyes came out. I think that looks nice and aggressive. Like I said, his design is more friendly, more supposed to be invincible. I just kind of made it a little bit more mean to make it seem like, the Invincible wore invincible. Well, that's pretty much it for this video. If y'all liked the video, leave a like, subscribe, go watch the 2011 film Rango. We have a Discord server if you want. You can go join it. That would be pretty cool. And yeah, y'all just have a nice one. Go subscribe to Potato Mean and Frail Whale. And a special shout out to Frail Whale for actually making the designs. I am collaborating with them on future projects. So, some stuff coming out soon. Maybe not soon. We just kind of started some ideas for collabs. So, suspect more cooperation coming soon. Some cool content that may or may not involve a certain video game with the Marvel variety. I wonder what that could be. But yeah, y'all enjoy the rest of your day, and see ya. Ciao. Bye-bye.